what happens if you don't forgive is bitterness starts to grow in your heart, and it's like a poison, and it goes through your whole body. It's like basically getting bit by a snake. And when you get bit by a snake, that venom goes in your blood and begins to like seep through your system. And it's the same thing with bitterness. When you allow unforgiveness to take root in your heart, that bitterness grows and it spreads and it just makes you miserable. So you really think that you're harming that other person by not forgiving them, when in reality you're being harmed because you're not forgiving.
Before I became a Christian, I was like the only black kid in a very racist suburban town in Tennessee. They sick dogs on me, they jumped me on the playground, had to go to the hospital once because they kicked my ribs in. Got called nigger every day. And for a while, I hated white people. I mean, if you were white, I hate you. That's the bottom line. Because you hate me.
Obviously, it's my fault that I'm not forgiving people. And it's a hold on me more than it is anger towards them. It's just like, it's consuming me, not them.
It really took God to like transform me and fix me and get me away from that hate. And once it was gone, like it feels so much better. You're like, wow, it's like a huge, just a weight lifted off your shoulders. Forgiveness is definitely, absolutely necessary if you're gonna be a Christian, absolutely.
So, once upon a time, 4 years old, had a real bad experience, one of these child rape dealies, and that sits with you, man. That sits with you for years. And as a kid, your parents motivate you and they're like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. But that's just the kind of stuff that doesn't go away. And so, you find yourself in your teenage years and you're like, man, I want to get even for that. And all of a sudden, you find you got a real ball of hate right in your chest. And it's like, whew, I'm just gonna let this out one day. I'm bigger now. I mean, I'm about 6 foot, I weigh about 220. I will take that person, no doubt. I spent years thinking about it. One day it'd be great to just kind of like kill him and just be done with it. I mean, hey, eye for an eye, right? Let's go for it. I came to Christ and I found myself on my knees one night. I was just like, God, forgive this person. Forgive this person because I know that I may not have done the exact same thing to anybody else, but I've done my fair share of messed up stuff.
Speaking about fighting people, I remember one time in high school, I got in a fight with a guy. And I'm talking about, I'm a Christian at this time. I know the word, I've been to church, Sundays, you know what I mean? Give my offerings and tithes, and I get into a fight, man. Well, I remember that it was during my basketball practice, and I remember we went outside, we hit each other till we were tired, till we couldn't swing no more. And we rested a little bit and kept on going. And I remember one time his mom came up to me and she said, I know what happened between you and my son. And I'm not gonna defend him, but what you two are keeping together, that rancor, that hate you're holding together is affecting the team. And my eyes open, I'm like, God, what have I been doing, I'm a Christian and I believe in you and I've been holding this. And so from then on I went up to him and I go, look man, I'm sorry, I noticed that the things that we do, the hate that we hold, doesn't just affect the two people that are holding it together, it affects everyone.
As a boy growing up in Brooklyn, I became a person that was full of hatred. There were kids making fun of me, and from there I began to hate everybody. I even hated my family. I hated my brothers, my mom, my dad, and I just wanted to just kill people. I should have hated those people that made fun of me and abused me. But when Christ came into my life, it was so much easier to forgive them because I didn't have any grudges. I didn't have any pains anymore. They were all gone.
Trying to forgive my own father, that is difficult alone. Myself, my parents are divorced, and my dad didn't exactly do the nicest things to our family, and that alone has been really difficult to forgive, and I'm still struggling with it right now. And like 5 years later, it's still not gone yet. And if I myself try to forgive him, I wouldn't get anywhere. I can't do that. There's so much hurt and pain and anger in my own heart that it's impossible for me to be like, I forgive you, Dad, no, it doesn't work that way. And the only way that you can forgive is to seek God's help to forgive and to ask him, please just come into my life, show me this compassion for my father, and he himself is lost. He himself is going through this hard time. Like, I shouldn't blame him for the struggles that he's going through. And seeking God's love and seeking his forgiveness for my anger, for my own resentment towards him, and then also just seeking his help, because I definitely just can't do it alone, and just knowing that, you know, it's God in me who's going to be forgiving him, not by my own means.
What happens is I've been forgiven so much by other people, the people at church and my family, because of when I left the church and did my own thing and got into a lot of trouble, that when I come across people who have done the same to me, kind of snubbed me, and I have bitterness towards them, it's much easier for me to forgive them, because God says that those who are forgiven much love much. So in turn, I am showing them love because I know how much I've been forgiven.
The more baggage you carry around, the more anger, the more hatred, the more everything you've got built up inside you, that's all weighing you down. It's breaking your back and it's breaking your heart. When you come to that point, your mind says let it go, you forgive that person, when your heart follows, you're free. It's gone. And suddenly, you walk a little taller, your heart's a little lighter, the world's a heck of a lot brighter. Let it go.